Around 2% in after hours, the social networking giant beating on earnings estimates, but actually missing on revenue. Investors so far, they like the beat. We will be watching that, of course. And, meanwhile, President Trump, well, he's got an explanation for all the wild swings and the recent drop in the market. Uncertainty over the midterms. The president tweeting out today, the stock market is up massively since the election, but is now taking a little pause. People want to see what happens with the midterms. If you want your stocks to go down, I strongly suggest voting Democrat. They like the Venezuela model. High taxes and open borders. Does the president actually have it right on the midterms and the markets? Well, let's ask market watcher Dan Geltrude, Jonas, Max Ferris, and Fox Business Network Susan Lee. Dan, what do you think? President on to something here?
Yeah, actually, I do think he's on to something, because if we look at what's shaping up here in the midterms, if the Democrats take the House, I think that Trump's entire economic agenda disappears. We already know this market really likes the president.
What he already has in place, though.
No, that'll stay in place. But what are we talking about? Everything comes to a screeching halt. We're back to just stagnant business as usual. We're
also probably ratcheting up the circus, too, with impeachments and whatever else.
Oh, yeah. So historically, heading into midterms, markets have actually underperformed. But after the midterms, of that 6 months afterwards, they usually outperform, up 15% or so on average. And that it doesn't matter who wins the House at that point, because that overhang has been removed and the market has some relief.
Jonas?
I think the stock market is 100% currently gyrating because interest rates went a little too high and people are worried the tech stock bull market's over. However, the president is being brilliant bringing this up now, as he always is on Twitter related to elections. He knows there's a lot of moderate voters out there who might not be motivated, are leaning maybe left, and they don't want to see this money they just made disappear. They don't necessarily believe in his politics, but at the end of the day, they're scared of this whole going further left. It's further left than Clintonian. It's not Obama. You're talking about Democrat socialists. He brought up Venezuela to kind of remind people who's running this time. And that is where you start to scare people who are normally not that conservative, but are conservative when it comes to their 401k not falling 50%.
Yeah, it was only maybe a decade or so ago when Venezuela was spreading socialism throughout the entire South America, right? Chavez was getting all of these other nations to follow along, and it looked like all of South America was going to be socialist. Then you had this big election victory for a pro-American, pro-growth candidate in Brazil. Other countries also in South America, all of a sudden, a big pushback. So I think that's to the president's point. Around the world, they're choosing pro-business, pro-growth if you want to help people out.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're seeing the stock market performing the way it has since the president's been elected. Look, what happened in Venezuela was basically with the cost of oil dropping, they got caught. And when that happened, you could really see socialism doesn't work. It can't really withstand the long-term economic up and down. And they've been down for a long time.
Hold on one second. I want to go back to Pittsburgh and go back.